Welcome to another deep dive. Today, we're going to be exploring how faith intersects with, well, our digital world.
Okay.
We're diving into a Portuguese ebook. It's titled Evangelizando através das redes sociais, or evangelizing through social media.
Right.
And it's packed with strategies for sharing faith online.
It really is. The ebook really emphasizes this incredible opportunity we have right now.
Okay.
It argues that the digital revolution has opened up like a whole new way to share faith with a global audience.
Okay, so we're not just talking about posting a Bible verse on Facebook. What's got you so intrigued by this ebook's take on digital evangelism?
Like never before. It's the sheer scale of it all.
Okay.
The ebook highlights that Instagram alone has over 2.5 billion users in 2024.
Wow.
Think about that. A huge portion of those users are actively looking for spiritual content online.
Wow, that's a potential audience that most evangelists in history could only dream of. The ebook also dives into the role of influencers, right?
Right.
How are they impacting this digital landscape?
Yeah. The ebook argues that influencers are key because they already have a built-in audience and a platform for sharing their faith.
Right.
Take Sadie Robertson Huff on Instagram. She has over 5 million followers.
Yeah.
And she regularly shares devotional content and personal reflections on her Christian faith.
And then there's the Bible Project on YouTube. Their animated videos make complex biblical concepts really accessible.
Right.
They've got over 3.5 million subscribers. But it's not just about reaching millions of people, right?
Yeah.
It's about genuine engagement, too.
Absolutely. The ebook stresses that building authentic connections and a strong sense of community hinges on interactive engagement. It uses this great example of a Christian influencer who hosts Q&A sessions on Instagram to answer questions about faith and offer advice.
I love that. It's about having real conversations, just like you would in person. The ebook even offers some really specific advice on sparking those conversations and fostering a sense of community online.
Right. One suggestion that stood out to me is to use scripture as a starting point for meaningful conversations.
Okay.
Like, if you're sharing a passage about living out your faith, the ebook suggests asking your followers, how are you living out your faith this week?
That's a great way to invite people to think about the verse on a personal level and share their own experiences. It's also about encouraging your followers to share their own stories.
Yeah.
Those powerful moments where faith has made a difference.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The ebook gives the example of prompting followers with questions like, when has God transformed a difficult situation into a blessing for you? It creates a space for people to connect over shared experiences.
Sharing those personal stories is so powerful. It gives people a platform to connect and be inspired. Okay, let's shift gears a bit. The ebook also talks about harnessing viral content to spread the message, right?
Yes. It explains how viral content can create a ripple effect, spreading a message like exponentially.
Okay.
Someone shares an inspiring message, their followers share it, and so on.
Right.
And before you know it, that message has reached millions of people.
So we're not just talking about cute cat videos going viral.
Yeah.
What kind of faith-based content does the ebook suggest focusing on?
The ebook highlights the power of reflections, words of comfort and motivation that are grounded in the Bible. It suggests sharing personal stories of transformation through faith and linking them to relevant Bible verses.
I'm starting to see the bigger picture here. These types of messages speak to what we all crave.
Yeah.
Hope, guidance, and meaning, especially in a world that can often feel pretty chaotic and uncertain.
Exactly. The ebook reminds us that those timeless truths and messages resonate deeply with people, maybe even more so on social media. By tapping into that, you can create something truly powerful and potentially even viral.
Okay, let's dive into some practical strategies.
Okay.
What are some of the ebook's key takeaways for effective online evangelization?
It boils down to 3 core principles.
Okay.
Authenticity, diverse content formats, and consistent engagement.
Oh, okay. So break those down for me.
Being authentic means letting people see your true self, not just a polished facade.
Right.
It could be as simple as sharing your own story of finding faith.
I love that emphasis on authenticity. It makes the message so much more relatable.
Yeah.
What about the second principle, diverse content formats?
Yeah, the ebook encourages us to experiment with different mediums,
Okay.
from videos and live streams to images and stories to, keep things engaging.
Totally.
After all, variety is the spice of life, right?
Totally. And consistent engagement. That's all about showing up regularly for your audience.
Right. Social media moves fast,
Yeah.
and you need to stay top of mind.
Yeah.
The ebook suggests creating a content schedule to stay consistent.
Because if you're not showing up consistently, your message can easily get lost in the noise.
Right.
Okay, so we're showing up consistently and authentically, but what about the content itself?
Yeah.
How does the ebook suggest creating content that actually resonates with people?
The ebook reminds us that it all starts with understanding our audience's needs and interests.
Okay.
What are their struggles?
Mm-hmm.
What brings them joy? It encourages creating inspirational and educational content that enriches their spiritual journeys.
So it's about going beyond just preaching and offering something that actually adds value to people's lives.
Yes, meet them where they are and provide content that speaks to their lived experiences. The ebook even suggests adapting strategies from the marketing world, like the sales funnel concept from Russell Brunson.
Wait a minute, a sales funnel, isn't that a bit, salesy for sharing faith?
It might sound counterintuitive, but hear me out.
Okay.
Brunson's sales funnel is all about creating a system that guides people through different stages of awareness and engagement.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Walk me through that. What would the different stages of a sales funnel look like in the context of sharing faith?
Think of it like this. At the top of the funnel, you're attracting people with eye-catching content that sparks their interest. Maybe it's a thought-provoking question or a captivating story. Then you offer them more in-depth resources like blog posts or videos to nurture their curiosity.
Right.
And finally, you might encourage them to take a specific action, like joining an online community or signing up for a devotional email list.
So it's less about pushing a hard sell and more about creating a pathway that gently guides people toward a deeper understanding of faith.
Right.
Offering valuable content at each stage of their journey.
Precisely. And the ebook even ties in the concept of evergreen content from marketer Joe Polizzi.
Okay, another marketing term. What's evergreen content and how does that apply to faith-based content?
Evergreen content is content that remains relevant and valuable over time.
Okay.
Think about the teachings of Jesus, for example.
Yeah.
The message of love, compassion, and forgiveness is as relevant today as it was 2,000 years ago.
Right.
You can create content that connects those timeless truths to current events and cultural trends.
So it's about taking those enduring messages and packaging them in a way that feels fresh and relevant to what's happening in the world today. That's brilliant.
Exactly. The ebook even gives the example of participating in trending conversations about global issues like peace and love, but approaching them from a faith-based perspective.
That's a really interesting point. It's about demonstrating how faith is relevant to the things people are already talking about and thinking about and offering a fresh perspective. Now, speaking of trending conversations, let's talk about hashtags. How does the ebook suggest using those effectively?
Think of hashtags like keywords that help people discover your content.
Right.
The ebook encourages using popular Christian hashtags to connect with people who are already searching for faith-based content or engaging in conversations about spirituality.
So instead of shouting into the void, you're using hashtags to target those who are already interested in those topics.
Exactly.
Makes sense. But how can we measure the effectiveness of our efforts? How do we know if our message is actually resonating?
That's where data comes in. The ebook emphasizes the importance of measuring your digital impact, using data to inform your approach. Key metrics include reach, engagement, traffic to your website, and conversions.
Okay, break that down for me. What exactly do those metrics tell us?
Reach tells you how many people are seeing your content. Engagement measures how they're interacting with it, likes, comments, shares. Traffic tracks how many people are visiting your website or blog. And conversions measure how many people are taking a desired action, like signing up for a newsletter or making a donation.
So it's not just about posting content and hoping for the best. It's about being strategic and using data to refine your approach.
Exactly. The ebook reminds us that we need to look beyond vanity metrics like follower count and focus on whether people are actually responding to our content and taking action.
It's about using data as a valuable tool, but remembering that behind those numbers are real people with real needs and aspirations.
Right.
Okay. Now, the ebook also draws inspiration from historical evangelists like T.L. Osborne and John Wesley.
Yeah, it does.
Their methods, though, used in very different times, offer insights that are surprisingly relevant in this digital age. Okay, I love where this is going.
Yeah.
History meets modern technology.
Yeah.
I'm hooked.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
What's fascinating is how the ebook connects T.L. Osborne's emphasis on the power of God working through signs and miracles
Right.
to the way we can share impactful stories of transformation on social media.
It's like showing the real-life impact of faith, not just talking about it in a theoretical way.
Yeah.
I'm all about that. Show, don't tell.
Exactly.
What kind of examples does the ebook suggest?
Imagine a before and after story of someone overcoming addiction
Okay.
or finding healing through prayer, all captured in a quick shareable video.
Okay.
It's about presenting those powerful wow moments
Yeah.
where faith made a real difference in a way that's both authentic and easily digestible.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Short, impactful stories that resonate with people scrolling through their feeds.
Right.
And then there's John Wesley,
Yes.
known for his personal approach and emphasis on building genuine relationships.
Right.
How does the ebook connect that to online evangelism?
The ebook emphasizes moving beyond just broadcasting messages and actually engaging in conversations with followers. It's about fostering that human touch, even in the digital world,
Okay.
just like Wesley did through his personal visits and small group gatherings.
I love that comparison. Wesley was also a huge proponent of those small group communities, wasn't he?
Yes, he was.
How does the ebook translate that into the world of online evangelism?
Think virtual Bible study groups
Okay.
or leveraging private communities on Facebook or WhatsApp.
Right.
It's about bringing that sense of community and belonging online, where people can connect more deeply, share their insights, and support each other's spiritual journeys.
It's incredible how the ebook weaves together those historical insights with modern strategies.
It is.
It's a great reminder that the tools may change, but the fundamental principles of sharing faith and building community remain constant.
Absolutely. Yeah. Now, we've talked about authenticity, engagement, leveraging trends, and even measuring impact.
Right.
But it all starts with compelling content, right?
Yeah.
What guidance does the ebook offer on creating content that's truly effective and engaging for a digital audience?
I'm ready to dive deeper into this. After all, without great content, none of those other strategies will matter much.
The ebook highlights the power of storytelling.
Okay.
It encourages us to share personal testimonies and experiences that demonstrate the impact of faith in real, relatable ways.
Stories are so powerful because they allow people to connect on an emotional level.
Yes, they are.
They're much more memorable and relatable than abstract concepts.
Yeah, much more.
The ebook doesn't just stop at personal stories, though.
It doesn't.
It also encourages using creative formats to breathe life into biblical teachings.
Yes.
I love that. We need to get creative. What kind of creative formats are we talking about?
Imagine interactive quizzes about Bible stories.
Okay.
Visually appealing infographics that break down complex theological concepts, or even short, impactful video series that explore specific themes.
It's about recognizing that people consume information differently online, and we need to adapt our approach accordingly.
Exactly. The ebook also highlights the importance of visuals to capture attention and make your message stand out in a world where people are constantly bombarded with information.
Right.
High-quality images,
Okay.
inspiring quotes overlaid on photos,
Yeah.
or even short video clips can make a big difference.
It's like creating a visual feast for your audience.
It is.
Something that will stop them mid-scroll.
Right.
But of course, aesthetics are only part of the equation.
Yeah.
The content itself has to be relevant and valuable to your audience, right?
The ebook really emphasizes the need to understand your audience.
Yep.
It encourages asking yourself, who are you trying to reach? What are their needs, their interests, their struggles? What questions are they grappling with?
So it's about going beyond just preaching at people and making a genuine effort to offer content that speaks to their lived experiences.
And to get even more practical,
Okay.
the ebook suggests drawing on the concept of a sales funnel,
Okay.
a concept we touched on earlier from marketing expert Russell Brunson.
Hold on. A sales funnel. I'm still wrapping my head around how that applies to something as personal as faith.
Sure.
Can you elaborate on that a bit more?
Absolutely.
Mm.
Remember, a sales funnel is simply a system that guides people through different stages of awareness and engagement.
Okay.
In the context of online evangelization,
Mm-hmm.
it might look like starting with attention-grabbing content to pique people's interest.
Okay.
Then you might offer them more in-depth resources like blog posts or video series to delve deeper into the topic.
Right.
And finally, you could encourage them to take a specific action, like joining an online community or signing up for a devotional email list.
It's about creating a clear pathway for people to explore faith at their own pace,
Right.
offering valuable content at each step of the journey.
And to add another layer to this,
Okay.
the ebook ties in the concept of evergreen content from marketer Joe Pulizzi.
Okay, this is fascinating. Remind me again, what is evergreen content and how can we apply it to faith-based content?
Think of it as content that remains relevant over time,
Okay.
like the parable of the Good Samaritan.
Mm-hmm.
That message of compassion and helping those in need is timeless.
Right.
You could create content that connects that story to a current event, like offering support to refugees
Okay.
or volunteering at a local homeless shelter.
So it's about combining those timeless truths with content that's relevant to what's happening in the world right now.
Exactly. And that brings us back to using analytics to measure the impact of your content.
Okay.
By tracking how different types of content perform,
Mm-hmm.
you can refine your approach and focus on what's resonating most with your audience.
It's about being strategic, not just
Right.
throwing content out there and hoping it sticks.
Exactly.
Now, speaking strategy, I'm ready to dive into that section on leveraging trends and hashtags.
The ebook encourages us to stay in tune with what's happening in the world and find opportunities to participate in trending conversations from a faith-based perspective.
Okay.
For instance, if there's a global conversation about mental health, you might share content that offers hope and support rooted in faith,
Right.
using relevant hashtags to connect with those searching for answers.
That's a great point. It's about finding those natural connections between faith and what's already on people's minds.
Right.
And hashtags, they're like little signposts that guide people to your content, right?
Exactly. The ebook encourages using popular Christian hashtags like hashtag Jornada de Fe, hashtag Jesistima, and hashtag Ormaze to tap into those existing online communities.
Okay.
It also suggests creating or participating in challenges that encourage spiritual growth, like a 30 Days of Prayer challenge.
Challenges are a great way to create a shared experience and a sense of community around a common goal.
Sure.
Brilliant. Now, we've talked about creating great content and getting it in front of the right people.
Right.
But how do we know if it's actually making a difference? What metrics should we be paying attention to?
The ebook highlights 4 key metrics that tell you how your content is performing.
Okay.
Reach,
Mm-hmm.
how many people are seeing it,
Okay.
engagement,
Mhm.
are they liking, commenting, and sharing it,
Right.
traffic,
Uh-huh.
are people visiting your website,
Okay.
and conversions?
Yeah.
Are they taking a desired action, like signing up for a newsletter?
It sounds like we need to go beyond simply looking at our follower count and really dig into the data to see what's working and what's not.
The ebook reminds us that behind those numbers are real people with real lives.
Right.
It's about using that data to inform our decisions, but always remembering the human element.
It's about being data informed, not just data driven. Now, we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
But at its core, this ebook is about something much deeper, right?
Yeah.
It's not just about mastering social media.
Absolutely.
Okay.
The ebook challenges us to see online evangelization as an opportunity to connect with people on a human level,
Mm-hmm.
offering them hope, guidance, and a sense of community where they can grow in their faith.
It's about recognizing the power of technology to amplify the message, but never losing sight of the human heart behind the screen.
That's a beautiful way to put it. The ebook draws inspiration from historical figures like T.L. Osborne and John Wesley,
Yes.
highlighting how their approaches, though developed centuries ago, are surprisingly relevant in today's digital world.
This is where we see the timeless wisdom of their methods being applied to the modern world. T.L. Osborne, for example, placed a huge emphasis on showcasing the power of God at work in people's lives.
He did. The ebook encourages us to share those impactful testimonies and stories of transformation that show God's power at work,
Right.
not just talk about it.
It's all about making those stories accessible and relatable, showcasing those tangible examples of how faith can transform lives. It's about showing, not just telling. What kind of examples does the ebook offer for how we can do that effectively on social media?
The ebook suggests using a before and after approach.
Okay.
Highlight the challenges someone faced before finding faith, and then showcase the positive changes they experience afterward.
Okay, yeah.
Imagine a short video clip of someone sharing how their life was radically changed, or a series of posts with powerful visuals that show the transformation.
Those visual elements are so important for capturing attention online. It's about making the intangible tangible.
And the ebook emphasizes that these stories should be grounded in truth and presented ethically. We need to respect people's privacy and avoid sensationalizing their experiences. It's about authenticity and integrity.
Okay, that makes sense. So we've talked about T.L. Osborne's influence. What about John Wesley? He was known for his structured approach to evangelism and his focus on building deep relationships. How does the ebook apply his insights to the world of online outreach?
This is where the ebook's focus on interactive engagement comes in.
Okay.
It encourages moving beyond one-way communication and actively engaging in meaningful conversations with your followers, just like Wesley did through his personal visits and small group gatherings.
So it's not just about posting content and hoping people see it.
Right.
It's about fostering genuine dialogue, responding to comments, asking questions, and creating a space for real connection.
Exactly. And speaking of those small group gatherings, the ebook also suggests leveraging online platforms to create virtual communities where people can connect more deeply.
It's about translating that sense of community and belonging that was so central to Wesley's approach into the digital realm. I love that. What would those virtual communities look like in practice?
They could take many forms. Hosting online Bible studies, creating private groups on Facebook or WhatsApp for deeper discussions, or even using interactive features like live Q&A sessions to connect with followers in real time.
It's amazing how the ebook takes these timeless principles from historical figures and shows how they can be adapted in new and creative ways. So we've talked about authenticity, consistency, and learning from those who came before us. But ultimately, effective online evangelization hinges on the message itself. What guidance does the ebook offer for crafting a message that truly resonates with people in today's digital world?
It all comes back to understanding your audience and tailoring your message to their needs and interests.
It's about going beyond generic statements about faith and connecting with people where they are, speaking to their questions, concerns, and aspirations.
The ebook suggests thinking about the specific challenges people are facing.
Right.
It could be loneliness, anxiety, relationship problems, or even that universal search for purpose and meaning.
It's about demonstrating how faith can offer hope and practical guidance amidst those very real struggles. What are some specific tips for crafting those messages?
The ebook encourages using relatable language, avoiding jargon or theological terms that might alienate people who are new to faith.
We need to meet people where they are, speaking their language, not talking over their heads.
Exactly. The ebook also suggests sharing personal stories and testimonies to illustrate how faith has made a difference in your own life or the lives of others. And it emphasizes focusing on the positive aspects of faith, those themes of hope, love, forgiveness, and purpose.
It's about offering a message that feels inviting and accessible, not preachy or judgmental. How do we strike that balance between sharing the core tenets of our faith and making our message relevant to modern culture and trends? It feels like a delicate dance sometimes.
That's a great question. And the ebook addresses it directly. It encourages us to be thoughtful and discerning. Not every trends or cultural phenomenon aligns with our values.
Right.
So we need to be intentional about how we engage with culture.
So it's not about jumping on every bandwagon, but about choosing our battles wisely.
Exactly. The ebook suggests asking yourself some key questions before diving in. Does this trend align with my values? Can I use it as a bridge to share my faith in a meaningful way? Will it compromise my message or alienate my audience?
It's about being a wise steward of our message, making sure those cultural references or trends actually enhance it, not detract from it.
Yep.
Do you have any examples of how we might do that effectively?
Think about the growing trend of mindfulness and meditation. While those practices can be beneficial, they don't always address the deeper spiritual needs that faith can speak to. We could share content that acknowledges the benefits of mindfulness, but then introduces the concept of prayer as a way to connect with a loving God.
It's about finding those points of connection and building bridges between what's trending and the timeless truths of our faith. I love that. And of course, we're not expected to have all the answers, right?
Absolutely not. The ebook encourages us to be humble.
Yeah.
We're all on a journey of faith, and we can learn from others.
Right.
Even those who may not share our beliefs.
It's about creating a space for respectful dialogue and understanding, not trying to win arguments or force our beliefs on others.
The goal is to share a message of hope and love that invites people to consider a new perspective. And in this world, we need that more than ever.
That's beautifully said. Now, I want to talk about something the ebook keeps coming back to, something that's essential for effective online evangelization, the power of authenticity and consistency.
The ebook reminds us that people can spot a fake a mile away. It's It's crucial to be genuine in our online interactions, letting people see our true selves.
Yeah.
Share your struggles and triumphs. Let them see your humanness.
That vulnerability is so powerful. It makes us relatable.
Yeah.
And consistency. Why is that so important in the context of online ministry?
Consistency builds trust.
Right.
It shows your audience that you're committed and that you care. It helps you stay top of mind in a world overflowing with information. The ebook suggests creating a content schedule and sticking to it. Show up regularly, even when it feels like no one's watching.
Building a community takes time and effort. It's about being in it for the long haul. So we're showing up consistently and authentically, but we also need to make sure we're consistently providing value to our audience.
Exactly. The ebook encourages us to be curators of faith-based content, sharing resources that inspire, educate, and empower our followers. Think insightful blog posts, inspiring podcasts, or video series, all grounded in faith and applicable to daily life.
It's about becoming that trusted source for reliable and engaging content. And it's not just about what we share, it's about how we present it, right?
The ebook emphasizes the importance of presentation, using high-quality visuals, compelling headlines, and engaging language to capture people's attention in a crowded online world. Think of your online presence as a digital storefront.
Okay.
Just like a well-designed storefront attracts customers, a visually appealing and well-organized online presence draws people in and makes them want to learn more.
It's about creating a space that feels welcoming, inviting, and easy to navigate. And speaking of inviting, the ebook also highlights the importance of fostering a sense of community online.
It encourages us to move beyond broadcasting messages and actually creating digital spaces where people can connect with each other and support each other's journeys.
How can we create those spaces effectively? What kind of strategies does the ebook suggest?
Might involve hosting live Q&A sessions, creating private groups or forums for more in-depth discussions, or even simply responding to comments and messages thoughtfully, showing people that you genuinely care. It's about building real relationships, even in the digital space.
And speaking of relationships, the ebook draws inspiration from the lives of historical evangelists like T.L. Osborne and John Wesley, who were masters of connection and community building.
Their approaches, though rooted in a different era, offer incredibly relevant insights for how we approach online ministry. T.L. Osborne, for instance, emphasized the power of personal testimony and shared stories of how God had worked in his life and the lives of others.
How can we translate that into the world of social media?
The ebook encourages sharing your own faith journey authentically, highlighting the ups and downs, the struggles and triumphs in a way that feels relatable and inspires others.
Right.
People connect with stories, especially when they see their own experiences reflected in those stories.
Exactly. And didn't Osborne also focus on meeting people where they were, both physically and spiritually? He held his crusades in unconventional places to reach people who wouldn't typically step foot in a church.
He did. And that principle is just as relevant today. The ebook challenges us to meet people where they are in the digital space.
So how do we do that?
It's about understanding where your target audience hangs out online and tailoring your content and approach accordingly.
Okay.
Maybe it's creating videos for YouTube, engaging in conversations on Twitter, or sharing visually compelling content on Instagram. The key is to be adaptable and use the tools available to reach people where they are, just like Osborne did in his time.
I love that. We need to go to them, not expect them to come to us. And what about John Wesley? How does his approach to evangelism inform online ministry?
Wesley was known for his structured approach to evangelism and his emphasis on building deep relationships. The ebook draws a parallel between his practice of discipleship and the importance of providing ongoing nurturing and support online.
It's not just about making initial connections. It's about fostering those connections over time and helping people grow in their faith. What does that ongoing nurturing look like online?
The ebook suggests creating online resources like devotional guides, Bible study plans, or even virtual small groups to provide that support and encouragement. It also highlights the importance of personal accountability, encouraging us to follow up with people who express interest in learning more and offering guidance.
It's about being present, engaged, and truly invested in the lives of those we connect with online. It's about remembering the human heart behind the screen. And of course, we can't forget the importance of prayer.
The ebook reminds us to pray for ourselves as we engage in this digital mission field and to pray for those we connect with online. Ultimately, it's God who transforms hearts. Our role is to be faithful stewards of the message, using the tools available to share the hope and love of Christ in a way that is both compelling and compassionate.
What a powerful reminder. So as we wrap up this deep dive, what is the one key takeaway you hope our listeners glean from our exploration of this ebook?
I hope they're inspired to see the digital world as a vast mission field, brimming with possibilities for sharing faith, building community, and making a real difference in the lives of others. And I hope they embrace this challenge with creativity, courage, and a genuine desire to connect with others in a way that honors both the message and the messenger.
And I would add this. I hope our listeners are challenged to think beyond just posting content. I hope they're inspired to engage in meaningful conversations, build genuine relationships, and be a light in a world that so desperately needs it.
What I find fascinating is that the ebook doesn't just offer strategies, it issues a call to action. It reminds us that we all have a role to play, regardless of our background, skills, or platform size.
Because every interaction, every comment, every share has the potential to plant a seed, spark a conversation, or even change a life.
We hope this deep dive has given you the knowledge and inspiration to step into this digital mission field with confidence and purpose. What unique gifts and talents can you bring to this space? How can you use your own digital platforms to make a difference?
The possibilities are endless. The only limit is our imagination. We challenge you to think about those questions. And until next time, keep diving deep.